Well, what does finding the area of a square have to do with square roots? And I'm about to show you that right now. In this example here, we have an area already given to us and one of the side lengths given to us, and we have to find out the other side length. So what does finding the area of a square have to do with what we're doing in this unit? Well, in the previous example, you were given two side lengths and you were able to use those side lengths to find the area of the square. Sometimes, though, you are not given all of that information. Like in this example here, we have the area already given to us. We don't have to figure that out. And we have one of the side lengths, but our missing piece of information is the other side length. So we need to kind of work backwards to figure out what this missing side length is. And I know that just by looking at these numbers, you can figure this out quickly in your head, but I'm going to use friendly numbers, nice numbers, to walk through this process with you. So when you see something a little more complicated, you can come back to this video and just apply this strategy with more complicated numbers. So we know that the area is 15 square units. And we need to figure out what times 3 would equal 15, because we know area is length times width. So this x units, whatever they are, times 3 has to equal 15. Another way to think of that is as a division problem. 15 divided by 3 equals what? Well, it equals 5. So in this case, our missing value, our x, is 5 units. When we have a square, like in example number 2, we have this given area of 16 square units, and we know that one of the side lengths is n units. And since this is a square, then we can say that the other side length is also n units, because we know in a square all the sides are the same. So we have an area of 16 square units. Well, what times itself equals 16? We can do like we did in example number 1, where we set up a division problem, but that doesn't really help us because we have two variables here. So we have the same variable twice. 16 divided by n equals n. That doesn't really give us any help. So we have this handy symbol, the square root symbol. And the square root symbol means what times itself equals what this number is that's under the symbol. What times itself equals 16. We know, because we know our multiplication facts, that the answer to that is 4, and that our solution to this problem would be n equals 4 units. This square is 4 units by 4 units. When the number is not so nice, there is a button on your calculator that will help you figure out what the square root of a number is, and I can show you that when you come and meet with me. One thing to notice, though, it's important to point out, is that in this case, in these cases up here, we were dealing with area, and so we only had positive numbers. Length and distance and area can only be a positive number. But if you remember your rules from multiplying negative numbers from 7th grade, the square root of 16 could be a positive or a negative 4 if you weren't dealing with something that had to be positive, like area or length. So 4 times 4 equals 16, but also negative 4 times negative 4 equals 16 too. So you'll have to be careful and read the situation carefully when you're working on your problems to determine if your answer could be negative or if it's limited only to positive numbers.